It has been a while since I've made one of these styles of video, but in this video, I'm going to be taking a slightly better look at the character of Ben within the first game of the franchise. Ben was introduced in episode 2 of the first game when Lee finds him, his friend Jarvis, and the professor that was looking after them. Within 5 minutes of Ben being in the game, he loses his friend, his mentor, and is suddenly with a new group of people that he's never properly met and do not entirely value him or trust him. If you guys enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing, as it is free and you can always unsubscribe later. Also, check out my Twitter down below. When we first meet Ben, he comes across as a very anxious survivor who has been heavily reliant on others to survive for the months of the apocalypse. Ben's a grown-up kid who does not have what it takes to survive in the apocalypse. Ben doesn't lead a massive part in the second episode of the first game. It's the third episode where we see his character have some larger implications to the narrative of the story. The survivors are struggling at the motel, with some of them wanting to move on and others wanting to stay at the motel. Lily is grieving the death of her father, and supplies are going missing. The group is turning on themselves, and everyone is very tense due to the hunger. Eventually, Lily asks Lee to investigate, and Lee finds a bag of medicine outside the motel in a small grate. This is when bandits attack the camp, and in the ensuing chaos, Duck gets bitten, which causes even more turmoil to the group. Ben is the one who was giving supplies to the bandits, and when the supplies stopped coming in, the bandits attacked. So Kenny believes the attack on the motel was entirely Ben's fault, which isn't wrong. But Ben's reason for giving them the supplies was due to his naivety. Ben was told by the bandits that his friend/mentor was still alive, depending on what happened in the second episode. Ben not understanding the complexity of the apocalypse and how the social structure from before is never coming back. He refuses to live in the apocalypse in a mental capacity as a result, and he trusts the bandits. Ben causes the death of multiple characters in this. Doug/Carly, depending on who you initially save in the first episode, and Duck and Katya. The events caused by Ben sees the entirety of the rest of the game unfold. The one part of Ben's character that is portrayed quite well is that Ben is terrified of the apocalypse. Duck and Clementine never really show fear of the apocalypse, because they maybe don't kind of entirely understand what is going on. But Ben is older than these two, and entirely understands the apocalypse, but just refuses to accept that it is going on, and that is the new norm. For example, when Clementine is on the street surrounded by walkers, Ben runs away and abandons her, which causes Chuck to rush in to save her, and that eventually leads to Chuck's death. Ben is not directly responsible for any deaths within the game, other than some walkers, but his indirect body count is 5 people that we know of, which is more than most other characters. These characters are Doug/Carly, Katya, Duck, Chuck, and Bree. Bree is when he removes the hatchet from the door in Crawford. Ben's fear is understandable. Ben lost his family at the beginning of the apocalypse, and unlike Clem, he knows there is very little chance they survived. But he never gets the closure of figuring out what actually happened to them in the end, like Clementine does. Overall, Ben's a balancing element to the group. He is terrified of what is going on, but unlike Lee, Kenny, and Krista, and the others who have seemingly accepted that all people now cannot be trusted, Ben still seems to hold hope that people can be trusted, and this is what gives him absolutely no chance of surviving within the apocalypse, and it is actually what eventually kills him. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun making it. I know it's a short video, but trust me, these videos take a long time to make. So if you guys do enjoy, please do consider subscribing, as it is free, and you can always unsubscribe at any point. Also, check out my socials down below. Anyway guys, I'll catch you all later. Have a good one.